everybody, it's Kristen and I am going to be doing mine and Dominic's 2-week update. It's a little after 2 weeks. It's a little hectic when you have like a 15-month-old and a newborn, and then I have my almost 5-year-old. He'll be 5 this weekend, and then my husband's home from work. So first of all, I haven't really wanted to put on makeup, and I haven't really had a whole lot of time. We're getting ready to move, so I haven't really had a whole lot of time. So I'll just catch you guys up with week 1. When we left the hospital, oh, and I will be doing a labor and delivery video. I know a lot of people have been tweeting me and asking me on Instagram. There is going to be one coming. I think I'm going to try to film it next week with my husband. Okay, so when we left the hospital, he was 8'6" at birth, and then he was 7'14" when we left the hospital. So when we got to the doctor 2 days later, because we ended up being able to leave the hospital like late Wednesday night, he was born Monday night. And I did have to stay the 2 days, or at least the 48 hours, due to the group A strep. So when we left the hospital, we got an appointment 2 days later to be seen by our regular pediatrician, and he was still 7'14". So he hadn't lost any more weight, but he hadn't gained any. At that point, we were still, the first couple of days, we were still waking him up like every 2 to 3 hours to get him to eat, but then we noticed that he wasn't really eating. Like, he would eat enough to literally like make my boobs go crazy, and then he would go right back to sleep. So it didn't really serve any purpose in waking him up other than telling my body to make a surplus of milk, which we did not need. So and I did not, that was uncomfortable. So we started just letting him wake up on his own. After talking to the pediatrician, she said, if he's gonna sleep for 4 hours and wake up and eat, let him sleep for 4 hours. So we've been doing that ever since, and it has been working out just fine. So pretty much the first week, he was waking up every 3.5 to 4 hours. Now that we are on week 2, we took him back to the doctor for his 2-week checkup. And he's right here, that's what I was looking at. And he is 8'7" now. Well, he was 8'7", and that was like a couple of days ago. So I imagine little Porky has gained some more weight since then. But he's a very healthy eater. So he was 8'7". So he had gained all of his weight back, and then, you know, and then a little bit. So that was really good. So we're not really worried about him eating or weight or anything like that. He did have some jaundice, which has pretty much gone away. They weren't even worried about it. Like, he didn't have to go back. My hair is crazy today. He didn't have to go back and have anything checked or anything like that after the initial check that they did at his newborn visit. So that was good, because both of my other kids had high enough numbers so they ended up having to go back and be checked. So now we're in week 2. And like I said, he was 8'7" at his 2-week checkup. He is sleeping a lot longer. It's really bad. You know, it's your 3rd child when your newborn, your 2-week-old, sleeps for almost 5 hours and nobody wakes up to check on them. When it's your first child, your head's like in the bassinet. Like, you can't, you know, you're not going to sleep unless like the baby is waking up. Well, you're not going to sleep, period. But because you're so nervous with your first child. 3rd child, he slept for like 5 hours the other night. Me and my husband slept for 5 hours. We did not wake up, which was nice. But at the same time, when I woke up and I realized we didn't even wake up, I was like, oh, that's bad. But anyway, so he's doing really, really, really well. I figured that God has blessed me with a good child because of how bad that my 15-month-old is. When your 15-month-old keeps you up more than a newborn, there's a problem. Yeah, Dominic is doing really, really well. My postpartum wise, the first week or so was a little rough. Nobody really explained to me that kind of as you have babies, the after pains get worse. And I've never been much of like a pill taker after having a baby. You know, literally, like, I could probably not, I don't think I took any medicine after I came home from the hospital with my first son other than the Motrin. And then with Declan, I think I took maybe the Percocets for like 1 or 2 days. and I was only taking one. With Dominic in the hospital, I was having to take 2 Percocets every 4 hours, and every 8 hours taking an ibuprofen, you know, and if it was on the time where I was getting an ibuprofen and 2 Percocets, which was a lot for me because I don't ever really take pills. The pain was just really bad. It was bad in my back. Literally the contracting pain of my uterus in the first like 4 or 5 days was so miserable. Nobody explained to me that it gets worse with each baby, and I really wish that somebody would have told me. Not that it would have or could have prepared me for that, but it was almost like I was wishing that I was still hooked up to the epidural. Like, I wonder if they would do that, like leave you just hooked up for a couple of days. And, you know, so you don't have to feel the after pains, because those were almost more intense than like my early contractions. You know, it was just really bad. Just really uncomfortable. So if you're having your 3rd child or something like that, I know some of you guys have like 4 and 5 kids, and you guys are my heroes, because I don't know how you dealt with that other than like, you know, taking those Percocets. I still have like the whole postpartum, like, you know, menses, bleeding thing. It is still happening. My milk came in about 4 or 5 days, 4 days after he was born. So it was like the day after we left the hospital. I woke up that morning and it was like, ba-bam! I had huge boobs. They've gone down now. They have kind of regulated themselves. You know, when he was like eating kind of crazy, they get a little crazy, and I was feeling a little feverish and stuff like that. I think that I was worried I was getting mastitis because I've had it before, but I think I was getting what they call milk flu, kind of when your milk comes in and your hormones are going crazy, and you just get a little bit of like flu-like symptoms, and you don't actually have a fever, but you feel like you have a fever. So that's pretty much what's been going on with us. I was 150 pounds when I delivered him. And the last time that I weighed myself, which was like 2 days ago, I was 129. I meant to weigh myself this morning, but my sweet husband brought home Chick-fil-A, and I ate Chick-fil-A, and I didn't want to weigh myself after I ate that. So I was 129 a couple of days ago. And so I was 123, I believe, when I got pregnant. So I'm not too far away, but you know, those last couple pounds are always the hardest, and they definitely require, for me anyway, diet and exercise. So my doctor told me to definitely take it easy after what I had experienced with my hips, which, by the way, I don't have any like post complications from my whole hip issue. Everything with that kind of went away literally within like 24 hours after having him. Granted, once I got the epidural, like I didn't really notice a lot. I didn't notice any pain, but you know, once about 24 hours after I had him, I noticed that the pain in my hips just drastically went away. So I think that's about it. I will go ahead and show you guys what my 2-week tummy looks like, and then that will be it for this update. If you guys have any questions or want to see anything in the next update, let me know in the comments below. I know that I don't reply to every single comment, but I do read them all. It's just kind of crazy, and I can read them really quickly, and I just don't always have time to reply to everybody. But for any questions that you have, I will read them and I will address them in the next update video. So, okay, here we go. I'm going to show you guys my tummy. This is my tummy at 2 weeks post-baby. Hey everybody, this is Dominic. I wanted to kind of introduce you guys to him. My sweet little man. I did forget to mention that his skin is peeling. I've never had one of my babies' skin peel like this before, but the doctor assures me it's totally normal. So yeah, he will be back for our next update, and maybe he'll pop into the labor and delivery story. But yeah, look for that. I should be getting that up next week. So again, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.